Knockhill in Scotland, the venue for round 8 of the TVR Tuscan Challenge. The format, 2 qualification races and a main race, but Ashley Ward will not even take the start of the qualification race. On the pole, the white car of Steve Guglielmi, alongside him the green car of Martin Short. Jamie Campbell-Walter third, Phil Hindley fourth. Bad start from Campbell-Walter, good start from row 3 with Steve Cole, the blue machine, making a move up the inside. Nick Creswell there showing us the view from the middle of the field. Down into the first corner they come. Oh! Colin Blower in the white car there, and that's Giles Cooper going over the top. They also collect the number 8 machine. That's Peter Wheeler, the chairman of TVR. And if you're wondering why the number 5 car of Colin Blower is all white and not blue, it's because he had it rebuilt after a major accident at Brands Hatch last time out. Well, Martin Short leads now from Steve Guglielmi, the pole position man. Giles Cooper's 15 car is moving, but I think only to get back to the pits to have some serious cosmetic surgery done to it. Yellow and black quartered flag is out, and that means assume a safety car situation while we sort out the kerfuffle. Martin Short hand out to the cockpit, as have a number of the other drivers. You see Jamie Campbell-Walter waving in third place. Fourth was Phil Hindley, ahead of Cole and Sutcliffe. And there again the waved yellows, meaning take extreme care please. Replay of the start, John Hartshorn on the right making contact with Giles Cooper, the yellow car in the middle. Around the outside goes Colin Blower and doesn't quite make it, gets hung up across the nose of the yellow car. They can't untangle themselves, and more damage being done there to both machines. Peter Wheeler clatters into them in the 8 car. Gary Britnell in the gravel there at the bottom of the hill, but look, he just escapes it as Peter Wheeler gets going once more. 27 Steve Sutcliffe there, behind Steve Cole. They are 5th and 6th in the lineup as they come up the hill, waiting for the green. Now they get it. A lot of jostling and manoeuvring before they got to the green. Eugene O'Brien, the back of that group, the car with the grey, red and yellow colour scheme. There is the number 1 machine of the reigning champion, Phil Hindley. Cars this time safely through Duffer's Dip, and again taking the view from Nick Creswell's rollover hoop. Martin Short leading. Steve Guglielmi in second place. And there is Eugene O'Brien's car with a straight out of the body shop bonnet on it, still in primer. Dirt being kicked up. And everybody safely on the track at this stage still. Down into the final corner at Taylor's. Heavy braking here, and down the inside goes Phil Hindley. Guglielmi challenged Short, lost track position there, and then inside him came Phil Hindley. Hindley takes the advantage there, moves up to second, and Jamie Campbell-Walter now side by side. In fact, he's not even at the start line. Jamie Campbell-Walter has moved up ahead of Steve Guglielmi, and this time Hindley moves past Martin Short. Great move. He goes from third to first in 2 corners, Phil Hindley. Hindley leads Short, Jamie Campbell-Walter third, Guglielmi fourth, Cole in 5th place in the blue car. The green car of Steve Sutcliffe was in 6th position. Eugene O'Brien was in 7th. Then in 8th place, it's John Hartshorn ahead of us as we ride with Nick Creswell in 9th. Down into Clark, and this is a good passing opportunity in the smaller cars. Not quite sure whether it's on in a TVR, but Martin Short going to challenge again. Look how close to the right-hand side of the track Phil Hindley is. He's just going to make sure that there is absolutely no way a TVR can come between him and the curb on the inside. Short gets hit by Campbell-Walter under braking. Campbell-Walter moving to the left-hand side as they go up the hill. There's Peter Wheeler still battling at the back of the field with Gary Britnell. And a monster lock-up from Phil Hindley. He holds it all together though. Campbell-Walter now in second place. Martin Short in third. Steve Guglielmi there in 4th place. Then the blue and green cars. That's Steve Cole ahead of Steve Sutcliffe. Martin Short making a move down the inside. Jamie Campbell-Walter giving him plenty of room so he can get a good drive out of the corner and come back at him. Well, Short picked up the position, but again, Jamie Campbell-Walter out-accelerates him up the hill. He had much better drive out of the corner, so Short picked it up at the bottom of the hill, lost it by the top of the hill. Campbell-Walter, something dangling underneath his car. Don't think it's doing too much damage. He's second. 3rd place is Short. There's your leader. 4th and 5th, Cole and Sutcliffe. Then 6th place, Guglielmi. He's dropping down the order gradually. Eugene O'Brien right with him as the 3-way battle for the lead continues. Again, these cars really dancing around under braking. Short again, hits Campbell Walter. Oh, really thumps him up the back this time. Bits flew off Jamie's car with the first contact, and then a substantial bash up the backside from Martin Short. Eugene O'Brien tried to take to the grass around the outside. Jamie gesticulating there at the officials in his disgust. Steve Cole still with Steve Sutcliffe right behind him there. Third and fourth now. Martin Short in second place. No sign at all of the leader. Phil Hindley really cleared off. Steve Cole's car flapping at the back as well. Steve Sutcliffe seems to be remarkably undamaged. There's Jamie Campbell-Walter and what's left of his car being dragged around there. Hardly the most aerodynamic and attractive looking TVR you've ever seen, and it's shedding parts still. Look again then as they go in under braking. Campbell-Walter gets hit under braking and then gets really thumped from behind as Martin Short stands on the throttle, and Jamie Campbell-Walter gets spun round out of that second place. Well, again, Campbell-Walter waving at the officials at the start-finish line. Martin Short's car still dragging bits and pieces behind it. Phil Hindley's running away with the lead of this race. Don't forget, this is only one of two qualifying races. The field split into two halves for the qualifying race, and then they have another main race. So all the points gained in each of the qualifiers and the main race will go into the championship melting pot for round 8 here at Knockhill. Cole and Sutcliffe, third and fourth. Campbell-Walter absolutely puce with rage still under that helmet. You can see from the way he's driving the car. He's in fifth place. Eugene O'Brien not able to challenge him in sixth place, and a big set of black stripes out of the final turn as Phil Hindley really powers it out of Taylor's and up to the checkered flag. Well, that was just a little bit of celebration there by Phil Hindley. I think, however, that Jamie Campbell-Walter will be doing less celebrating and more remonstrating. Indeed, straight up to Martin Short after the race. Short having none of it. Campbell-Walter, I think, may take this a little bit further with the organisers. Very, very unhappy with that one. Phil Hindley, the winner at the line. Martin Short subsequently excluded from the results. So Campbell-Walter moves up to fourth. Cole and Sutcliffe second and third. Well, the second of the qualifying heats with ex-Caterham driver Michael Caine on pole position. Alongside him in second place, Ian Flux. The qualifying incidentally under a new format, like Formula One having a limited number of laps for each car, only 15. Mike Jordan should start third, but problems for the 77 car leading to a hole on the grid. He's still in the pit lane, and the number 4 machine of Troy Dunlop will start, rightfully enough, in fourth place. So they're ready to go. 5-second board has been shown. The lights go on, the revs rise, and away they go. Very quick change indeed. Michael Caine jolting away from the start, getting the power down eventually, but Ian Flux is 3 car lengths ahead of him, and around the outside goes Ian McKellar. Oh, will they get away with that? Troy Dunlop, another slow starter as well. He loses a couple of places. Down the inside of him goes the number 10 machine of Steve Hyde. And everybody safely through this time. 86 there is Nigel Feeney. Right down to the tail of the field, there is Mike Jordan. The 77 car started from the pit lane. Well, what can he do now? Jordan's got the headlights on. Feeney switches his on as well, but that won't necessarily help him. I think Jordan is fired up and the car certainly seems ready to race. Ian Flux leads, Michael Caine in second place. Ian McKellar in third, the checkered flag across the nose of his car. The rest of the field streaming through. Mike Jordan already picked up 2 places from the start. Through go the top 3. Andy Britnell in fourth, and then a 3-way battle for fifth. Tim Hood, Steve Hyde and Troy Dunlop on the back of that group. Ian Flux still holding on to his lead from Caine and McKellar, and Caine much more under pressure from behind than he is able to do the pressuring to the race leader ahead of him. Flying over the curbs in the chicane, Britnell fourth, and still that 3-way battle behind them for fifth position. Looks like that's going to be a bit of a humdinger, and this battle for the lead might be as well. Coming along Railway Bend and down towards the hairpin at Taylor's, a right-hander. Hard on the brakes, turning in with Michael Caine. Ian McKellar right with him, but he's avoiding the contact there. Still Tim Hood from Steve Hyde and Troy Dunlop. There they go, 5th, 6th and 7th across the line. And Mike Jordan coming through and trying to close the gap to the cars ahead of him. Well, Ian Flux very much in command here, although he's not able to pull away from the two men behind. They're certainly not close enough to make a move on him at any stage. Michael Caine in second, and the checkered flag on the nose of the yellow car with the blue tail end. That's Ian McKellar in third place. Again, riding with the second place machine. Here is John Ravenscroft, the number 12 car, the second of the TVR factory entries, under pressure from Mike Jordan. Well, Jordan really working his way up the order. Lead trio pulling away now from Britnell, and he's got Hood, Hyde and Dunlop right behind him. No, he hasn't. Well, Hyde and Dunlop went past Tim Hood, and Hood diving across into the pit lane. And the 26 car must have suddenly developed a problem there, because he looked all right as he came into the final corner and suddenly developed a problem going up the hill. Steve Hyde and Troy Dunlop jinking out from behind him to avoid running up the back of the car. Michael Caine's view again, or it would be if you were hanging on right behind his head at any rate, and being waved through by Ian Flux. So Flux having a problem here as well. Oh dear, this is very bad news indeed for Ian Flux. Number 7 car started superbly and running at the front of the field, but he's waved the leaders through. He has definitely got some kind of a problem, and he is not going to hold them up. So Michael Caine leading the race then from Ian McKellar, and by a country mile these two ahead of everybody else. There's Troy Dunlop with Mike Jordan right behind him, and there is Steve Hyde. So they've all passed Ian Flux, and they are 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. Dunlop is 3rd, Jordan is 4th. Don't forget he started from the pit lane and looks now as though he might be going for a podium position here. 23 car of Andy Britnell putting some pressure on the 10 car of Steve Hyde. And look at this gap, dead track between Michael Caine and Ian McKellar. And Mike Jordan in 3rd place now, ahead of Troy Dunlop, having passed him on the run up to the chicane. So Jordan 3rd, Dunlop 4th. And then Steve Hyde holding off Andy Britnell, but only just. White car of Mike Jordan pulling away now from Troy Dunlop in 4th place. And Steve Hyde wide into the final turn. Andy Britnell says thank you very much and goes straight past him into 5th place. Well, either Hyde thought that Britnell wasn't close enough to try something, or that was a mistake. Ed Sharp's orange car next up, and Britnell defending now. He's got that place desperately to hold off the number 10 machine of Steve Hyde. Well, we've seen cars riding the curbs, but this is what happens if you ride them too much. Grant Troman's spinning out in a cloud of dirt, going far too heavily over the second part of the chicane. And another spin as he tries to gather it all together and get the power down to straighten the car out. Checkered flag though for Michael Caine, Ian McKellar in 2nd place, and Mike Jordan 3rd place, having started from the pits ahead of Troy Dunlop, Andy Britnell and Steve Hyde, the rest of the top 6.